Hello, everyone. Welcome to Secret Spaces, August 16th edition. We're going to pack the room here in just a second. We're going to get announcements out on all of our channels. Give us a moment, then we'll bring everybody up on stage for today's conversation featuring some exciting implementations on top of Secret. Give us just a sec, and we'll kick off very shortly. Today, we are featuring a couple guests from around the ecosystem. We've got ActiList, we've got CertUP. You'll see their handles linked in the description of this secret space. Please go ahead and give them a follow. And then we're going to be bringing them up on stage here, or at least Patrick will be helping me do that. This is Tor from the Secret Network account. Patrick and I are at Secret Foundation. We run secret spaces every week on Tuesdays at 4 p.m. UTC. Today, we're excited to continue featuring secret projects. We'll get them up here on stage. We usually start about 5 or 6 minutes after the hour. Take this opportunity, please, to share our tweet, which we've pinned here, which has the link to the spaces. Please share it with your communities. Anybody you think is going to be interested in this conversation today about all the things that secret NFTs can be used for beyond what you might think. You know, there's so much more than just PFPs. There's so much more than what we already think of the design space for NFTs on other network, because Secret does introduce privacy by default. So what does that mean for the design space? What are these guys building with this technology? It's super exciting stuff. We're going to kick off in just a second, but we'll take a moment to get people up here on stage in the meantime. Is there anybody else that we're waiting to bring up here, Patrick? I see we've got Trivium. I see we've got ActiList.
Those are the two main teams. I'm not sure if they have individuals coming as well. I guess they can answer that question.
Yeah, Trivium guy. That's, I assume, Lumi. Are we waiting for somebody else to come on?
Yeah, Ziff is going to be logging on with the CertUP account, hopefully sometime soon.
Okay, cool. So Patrick, keep an eye out for the CertUP account. And then ActiList, are we waiting for anybody else on your side or just you?
It's actually just me.
Okay, but we'll kick off here then, since we've got everybody represented. Do we have the announcements already out on every channel, Patrick? Are we good to go?
Yep, good to go.
Let's do it. All right, well, welcome to Secret Spaces. This is the August 16th edition. We are featuring ActiNFT and CertUP today. I guess I should say ActiList. That's just their Twitter handle. We're going to go through both projects. We're going to talk about what they're doing with secret NFTs, why secret NFTs are more powerful than you might think, why they're more than NFTs on other networks, and maybe we'll think a little bit about what kinds of NFT applications should be built on Secret that haven't been built on Secret just yet. There's a huge design space out there waiting for all of us and plenty of ways to start getting involved. We're even going to talk a little bit about hackathons on Secret, because one of our guests today did win a hackathon that was focused a little bit on Secret. We want to be doing more hackathons in the very near future. We'll actually be doing one. We'll be doing a hacking session down at Cosmoverse in Colombia next month, and we're going to make it a more recurring thing. So stay tuned for more information about that. In the meantime, though, let's kick off. Let's start, as we always do, with introductions for our guests. Once we get through the guest introductions, we will also drop today's claim code, because every time we do a Secret Spaces, we do have a secret badge that's available to claim. These are free to mint NFTs on Secret. If you've never collected an NFT on Secret and you're curious about how they work, this is an amazing way to start learning more about them. So we'll drop that claim code in just a second. But first, let's hear about our guest. Let's hear about who's on stage. First, if you're ready to go from the ActiList account, feel free to introduce yourself. Let's keep it quick, just a personal introduction and a little bit about the project, because of course we're about to go into incredibly great detail, but just who are you? And thank you for joining us.
Hi, first with ActiList, it is me, Ilya. I'm from Latvia, and I'll be introducing ActiList. And I'm supported by my team member today, Salim. He has also joined, and I'll bring you ActiList application today.
Cool. And then on the CertUP side, go ahead.
Hello, I'm Lumi. I'm from Trivium, and Trivium being the main engineers behind CertUP. And CertUP is a certification platform using SNP 721s.
Amazing. Well, that is a good introduction and a great segue into what we're about to do. So if you see there's a pinned tweet here, if you're in the audience, go look, we've pinned a tweet to this Twitter space. If you click through to that tweet, it will have a link to that secret badge. To claim the secret badge, you'll just need Kepler, a wallet installed, but then you'll be able to claim that badge straight to your account, prove that you were here today. Your claim code, of course, is what you're going to need. Today's claim code is secret NFT, all capital letters, all one word, secret NFT. That's the claim code to claim today's secret badge. Remember that these things do expire, so please show your support for our guests on today's Secret Spaces. Go claim your badge, and you never know when those might come in handy in the future to prove that you were here supporting the incredible builders in the secret ecosystem. So with that housekeeping taken care of, let's get into the main discussion. We're going to start with ActiList, and then we'll talk about CertUP. We'll just go one by one. So I have a few different questions here for both projects. Sure. And for each, we're just going to start with the basics. So for you, what is ActiList?
So first about the project. In its core, ActiList is going to be a place to run secret NFT auctions. And a variety of different auction types will be gradually made available. You can also think of it as a marketing tool where you can announce upcoming NFT project leading to a sale in a form of auction. That's the short intro. And I can continue how it all started, how we came up with this idea of ActiList. It was started from GripType.js. GripType.js organized hackathon early this year and compliments to you guys, the authors of GripType.js framework, that they make connecting UI and secret network very easy. Without it, you would depend on a lower level secret.js library, which is also a fine way, but it is more heavy lifting that way. But GripType takes care of a lot of boilerplate as well, and it's just a higher level. So about hackathon, as you might know, there is already existing auctions dApp for auctioning SNP20 tokens, but it is somewhat stagnated. Not so many auctions and not so many users. So the goal of the hackathon was to come up with a better version of the existing auctions application, but still keeping the same smart contracts. The winner would have a privilege to replace existing application and continue its development. Speaking of hackathons, I like the topic and I signed up. But in my vision, it would be more than just UI changes to make this application more interesting. Because auctioning SNP20 tokens for another SNP20 tokens, it doesn't have much intrinsic value because SNP20 has a known market value, right? You can compare it to, I don't know, currency, dollar, euro. Auctioning dollar for €2 or the other way around wouldn't be very interesting because they have this fixed market value. Whereas NFTs with their unique value, this makes them ideal subject for auctioning actually. So combined with private transactions and private ownership on secret network, NFT auctions naturally create a variety of use cases. So I decided I want to completely rewrite existing smart contracts and, of course, create new UI. It was 1 month of extremely active work, and our team, by then 2 people, plus it was 2 people core team and a few extra people helping eventually. After 1 month, we delivered a fully functional prototype end of February, and we won the hackathon. We took the first place, but the changes were so big to the original concept of the hackathon. So we just, we became a completely new dApp on secret network rather than following the idea to replace existing auctions dApp. And then we were lucky to receive a grant from secret network that helped us to completely rework prototype. And now we're about 2 months away from delivering first production-ready version, which is still lacking user registration incentivizing verifiers, because to avoid spam gets online, we want to incentivize and pay verifiers, but verifiers would be actually paid by the creators of the auction. And we need some better getting started documentation. Not so much work left, and I think in 2 months we should be ready with our minimally viable product, so to say. As you know, in parallel with us, but completely independent, Stash.io has also added support for secret NFTs, for NFT auctions. But there are several unique features that make ActiList unique, such as on ActiList you can announce in advance. It can start directly, but it can also start at some point in the future. And that is better to make people more aware, to have time for marketing, and this just takes time. And we also have peer reviews, so no NFTs, the NFTs don't get online until they're verified. What is else? From our high-profile features that are still on to-do, we will be indexing with Google search, because there is a private part of the NFT, but there is a public part of the NFT auction. It is the way you want to market, and it is the way why it is made public. So we want also Google searches to find such NFT auctions. And another feature, we want the possibilities to submit NFTs later. So like announcing NFT auction, it will be marketed, it will be indexed, but actual NFT will be submitted later, because it can take a lot of work and time to create NFT. So NFTs can be submitted later. And that is another feature that will be delivered after MVP, first MVP. Then about the big picture, we'll be gradually adding different NFT auction types. At the moment, it is only possible to auction single items, but we'll be adding fixed price collections and non-fixed price collections. We'll be showcasing each auction type with the official ActiList NFTs to popularize ActiList, and also to show the way how it can be used, first on our own collections. We envision performance improvements, and we want to add support for mobile wallets. For the community, how community can get involved, on our Twitter account you can find a pinned message with participation form where you can fill in, and around September, October, there will be testing, so you can help. You can also support the project by delegating to ActiList validator node, because we're just a new project and we genuinely need your support. All project contributions will be rewarded in the near futures with Acti tokens, where the number of tokens will reflect user privileges. Tokens will be periodically airdropped. And after finalizing tokenomics, it will be more clear, but Acti token is going to be a pure utility token, and community is going to be the main group to distribute those tokens. As for integrations, we are interested about certifications actually, and CertUP is the next speaker. If there is certificate attached to NFT, we could skip manual verification, and that would be less hassle for auction creator. We're still missing NFT minting. We can partner with platforms which can help us with minting. And we see there's a lot of potential from importing NFTs from other blockchains. That's for the integrations part. And I think that pretty much concludes my talk. Now I can pass the microphone.
Great. Thanks for a very thorough overview there. It sounds like we'll get into some ways that people can get more involved at this stage, since it sounds like there's a lot of different steps to the roadmap here. But before getting to that, yeah, let's pass the mic over for a second to the CertUP guys and Trivium and Lumi, who's on stage. We're going to ask the exact same question, and we can break it down, right? We can pause and break into like the what of CertUP versus the roadmap. But let's at least start with what CertUP actually is, because that's another really interesting utility drawing on the power of secret NFTs.
Yeah, so CertUp is a secure certification and official documents platform that's going to be built on Secret Network. And we essentially exist to fix a lot of the problems with current data structure on traditional systems. One of the examples that I like to talk about the most is the fact that social security numbers are completely public, and you can actually steal someone's social security number by asking them for a couple bits of information that they give out very freely, which are their birthday and where they were born in. With those two pieces of information, you can steal that stuff. So, it's pretty obvious that we have a very outdated data infrastructure system. So CertUp is going to be trying to fix that. And really the only place that we could build a platform like this is on Secret Network, because Web 2, while it has great privacy, like, no one is going to really be peeking into servers the way people peek into like Bitcoin transactions, for example. It can be tampered with. There's risk that whoever is storing it could, maybe there's like damage to their servers or something like that. There's a lot of risk involved with that. And as I mentioned on just regular blockchain, you're going to have the issue of people constantly looking at what's going on the blockchain. If there's sensitive data in your documents, like you have a social security number on there, for example, that's not going to be safe on there. So Secret Network combines that Web 2 privacy and Web 3 decentralization that really makes this possible. The first thing that we're going to be doing is working with the Euro Tech School, and we're going to be making NFT diplomas for them. And from there, we're actually planning on expanding outward into identification documents. We've had companies approach us about putting safety inspection certifications on CertUp as well. So there's a massive need for this in the traditional institutional manufacturing and general economic world. And we're going in and we're going to try and fix all that to the best of our abilities.
It's an amazing mission. So let's quickly, before we go into the roadmap here, let's talk about, so why secret? Like, why aren't you guys going and building this on Ethereum?
Well, as I mentioned before, Ethereum is completely public, and you're going to have a lot of data on your personal documents that you don't want shared. So if we ever want something like an ID document that maybe holds your address in it, you don't want to be posting your address to everyone else that's looking at the blockchain. Issuers, whoever is going to be issuing your documents to you, they are going to be able to set up a project and select which data is public and which data is private. So things like maybe your ID number, that can be public information. Anyone can look at that, but maybe it has your address on it, that particular certification, or maybe it has your social security number or something important on it. That would go in the private information. And it's going to be up to the issuer to decide what goes where. It's a very flexible system.
Amazing. I mean, look, this is exactly the kind of application that we were hoping would emerge on Secret, because it is the sort of thing that could and should exist in the Web3 space, but just really can't with public by default infrastructure. So I think that's a really powerful answer. So let's then talk about the roadmap from here to there, or from the beginning.
Yeah. So we are starting off with the Eurotech School. They're going to be making diplomas for their programs. The Eurotech School they do a lot of blockchain classes. So it's only natural that we end up partnering up with them first before anyone else. So we're going to be providing certifications for their platform, giving their students SNP 721 diplomas. And what they are going to be doing is they're also going to be kind of chilling for us a little bit. They're going to be talking to other groups if they like our service and helping us expand outwards. There's going to be new entrepreneurs that are going to go through the Eurotech school classes, and they're going to come out being blockchain experts, knowing who we are, and maybe they're going to go start their own business and possibly have need of CertUP services. So we're kind of getting those young minds established first in the blockchain field, planting our planting the knowledge that our business exists with them before anyone else. And then from there, we're going to be expanding outwards to other companies. As I mentioned before, manufacturing safety certifications, identification documents. One of the things that I really want to do is get involved with official government documents. There's a lot of bureaucracy there, but I think it is possible to do once we firmly establish ourselves. We can get pretty far. Like, this is a massive thing in infrastructure, so we can go very, very far on the roadmap. I intend to, tackle as many things as possible and get to the point where we're issuing official government documents and things like that using our system.
Wow. I mean, it's super exciting to see all of this progress towards this end state. I mean, obviously you guys are probably going to run into some roadblocks around the way. I mean, some of them are going to be technical in nature, but just let me ask you a question here that you guys might be able to shed some light on. When you're having these conversations with institutions and you're trying to explain all this Web3 stuff and secrets specifically, like where do you think the blockers in those conversations are? What are they having trouble understanding, or what's the biggest challenge in actually executing with some of these partners?
So I personally haven't been the one speaking to them. We're working closely with Mr. Freeman from Alter, who has been doing some of the biz dev stuff and partnering us with these other companies. So actually, is Freeman able to speak on this right now? I'm interested to hear what his big challenges are.
I can always invite him up here. I don't know if he is, but I will invite him. No, this is a question I'm just really interested in because, again, we've been trying to socialize these privacy solutions in corporate enterprise and government space for, since like 2016. So it's going to be interesting to see how it is. So can you talk, Mr. Freeman, a little bit about this question?
Hey guys, yeah. As Alter is moving to Alter Enterprises, so we have a lot of things to discuss with these institutions as well, with corporates and companies. At the same time, of course, I use the so-called opportunity to kind of explore not only Alter collaboration but also CertUP, because I think CertUP is also a nice way how we can get more companies to understand what's the value of secure network. And so far, one thing that the institutions are worried about is how their users or clients can use it seamlessly and without using a wallet, for example. So, I mean, Web3 is about wallets, but I mean, this is what companies ask, like how you can make it so user experience friendly that you don't need a wallet anymore. Of course, there might be solutions where we can offer not wallet-based so-called interactions with smart contracts. I think it is possible, but that you're like using unique codes that are generated that can be used only one time. For example, obtaining Alter profile or login. The next one is for CertUP, like to access and mint and get the certification itself. But of course, there's can be also middle ground where you can give out unique code that is also one-time generated event, and then it doesn't matter what kind of like wallet address you're using. Like you can create a new wallet, you can get easy instructions to set up the wallet. So it is much more Web2 user friendly. And that's like majority of the questions, like, and then frustration from their end, like how easy is it to use? Do they need to have an extensive knowledge about wallets? And that's the biggest corner point here, to resolve. And once we understand like how we can tackle this, and then I think there will be mass adoption. And second, of course, is I would say where data is being stored, whether the network is private based or public based. Since Secret Network is public based, I think in the future, when the need is verified much more from the corporate side, maybe there would be a need for Secret Network to have also a side support chain with only verified companies that are using it with KYC, that are using it for the corporates only. So it might be the next step, but I mean, of course, it depends on the dApps. How, for example, CertUP or Alter are going to reach out to these corporates and companies. And if we're going to succeed, this means that also SecretNet will need to evolve, because if there's going to be demand, then of course you need to address it. And but these are the two main points. Like the rest is kind of understandable and explained. So, but so far these are like two biggest points that I have seen personally.
Okay, super interesting feedback. And yeah, the network, of course, is always sort of developing in every direction, and there's a lot of demand from a lot of different places. Some of it has to do with the long tail of user adoption, some of it has to do with enterprise adoption, some of it has to do with governmental adoption, right? It remains to be seen realistically how the network is going to advance towards all of those different use cases. There is some argument to be made that there needs to be specialization in some regard to serve some of these use cases better than others. But that said, there's also a lot of advantages you get on a chain like Secret, and the flexibility of having a generalizable private by default chain, those advantages of composability and the large global network and community that we're reaching with this. So I'm excited to see how things continue to evolve. And the way that things evolve at layer one, obviously, is going to be driven a lot by the success of builders at the application layer. And that's going to set the direction, I think, for the entire ecosystem. We should be chasing after whatever leads to meaningful adoption and what allows us to solve meaningful problems. So appreciate you coming up here and sharing that context. That was a huge question that I had, and it sounds like, these conversations are happening on a very frequent basis, which means we're going to get better at solving for all of these things. So now we're going to get to the point of the conversation where, back to talking to both projects, since we still have ActiList up here and we still have some reps from CertUp up here. For both of you, how can people get involved today? Let's go back to ActiList for a second. If somebody heard this and they're really inspired by your vision for NFT auctions or anything else you might be building into the ActiList roadmap, what can somebody do now to get more involved with the project?
So one thing is indeed participating in testing, and another, and there is that form that you can fill in to be invited. Yeah, and this is the main thing to provide feedback. I think that's where project would benefit the most. Also, we want to partner with artists, which would be developing official NFTs for our project, and that will be used to showcase different auction types. That is something that we see as a priority to find, to partner with the artist, basically, for that. And of course, you can validate, delegate or validator, but mainly testing it's like the priority for the moment.
Great. And of course, follow the ActiNFT account.
Okay.
Naturally.
That's from my side. Something from CertUp, maybe?
Yeah, go ahead, guys.
Yeah, so we're actually working on a program right now for this, which is essentially a referral program. We don't have all the details yet. It is being worked on. But what we're planning is if you are able to connect us to some organization that is going to be a paying CertUp user, and they're going to be issuing our certificates, we can actually allocate a portion of the profits for or the revenue from that specific issuer to the person that was able to connect us. So it's kind of a crowdsourced marketing sort of system, and a great way to make some extra income if you get an issuer that's going to be using a lot of certifications.
Epic. No, this is great. And also, in the spirit of getting people involved, this is also where we usually open up the floor. So anybody who's in the audience here who has a question for one of these teams, I mean, you may want to be asking about their products. You might want to ask about their roadmap. You might want to ask about secret NFTs more generally. You might want to ask about their experience in the Grip Tape Hackathon. In the case of Actilist, you might want to hear a little bit more about related products to CertUp as well. So please raise your hands. We are happy to bring you on stage to ask your questions of the teams directly. We're also, since we're 36 minutes in, going to restate today's secret badge claim code. This is a good breakpoint for that. We have a pinned tweet here in the space. Click through it. We're talking a lot about secret NFTs today, and they're very exciting as a primitive because a secret NFT obviously is so much more than a public by default unit NFT. There's so much more you can do. The design space is expanded. They're very utility driven. So today you can claim a secret badge, get your hands on, maybe it's your first, maybe it's your 100th secret NFT. But today's claim code is secret NFT. All capital letters, all one word, secret NFT. Follow through the link that's in the pinned tweet. You can go through, claim your secret badge for today to prove that you were here supporting these awesome builders in the secret ecosystem and become part of their communities. I've just added some. Oh, sorry, Patrick. Were you going to say something additional?
I was going to say, in the private metadata of that secret badge, there's also a sneak peek at what a CertUp certificate will look like.
Ooh, okay. So if you don't know, and this is your first secret spaces or first time exploring secret NFTs, of course, they do give you the option for public and private metadata. So today, the private metadata does have something special in it after all. I guess you'll only see it if you claim it, which will give you the rights to decrypt that private metadata and see it for yourself. There's always something juicy inside of a secret NFT. So today is no exception. So yes, we've opened the floor to questions, and I've already got somebody up on here, Pedro, I believe, to ask a question. What's your question?
Hi, everyone. Thank you for letting me talk here. I'm thinking about some kind of secret NFT for governance that keeps the privacy of the people who are using this NFTs to vote or to propose something. And I would like to know if there are some kind of so bound property to use with NFT in a way that we have one vote for one people, one person. I would like to hear some thoughts about that. Okay, thank you very much.
I think this should be as open as possible, and there is already apparently hassle enough to be connected to your wallet, but getting NFT is extra hurdle to be able to vote. So I think it should be less hassle. It should be more hassle-free voting for governance. So that could be used, but I'm more open-minded for governance as such in general. I would be willing to invite more people for governance, but to set up a sensible threshold to avoid meaningless voices, of course, but as many voices as possible.
Well, I think it could be good for something like a DAO, though, where you have a limited permissioned group of people that are going to be voting on projects. But not the main network governance.
Yeah, the idea was to create like gradual governance culture with steps. So the NFTs kind of boost the voting power for the people who has the token. But of course, it could not be something that people just buy from another one. It's more like a governance minting. So according with the activities that people did, those they received those NFTs.
Speaking hypothetically, if CertUp were to eventually get government contracts to issue a citizen's IDs, it would not be that difficult to have a system set up where if all of those were KYC'd, you could have each NFT be able to make one single vote and hold elections through that. It would be an interesting prospect.
Yeah, you got it. The idea is to keep privacy for the people, but in somehow use like zero knowledge protocol approach or something like your KYC or ID to confirm that you are just one person and you are not a bot or someone trying to game in the system, like buying open lots of wallets just to have more votes or something like that.
This is actually a good point you're making about bots. Being open-minded, it's good to prevent bots from voting. One way, which was on SecretSwap, and I hope it still works. Yeah, I hope SecretSwap finds a good team to continue. They had this minimum amount of secret tokens that you need to have to be able to submit your proposal. And in the same way for voting, it can be done, I think. And also NFTs, but NFTs are more like unique to make it more general available for public. It is better to make this judgment based on of how many tokens person have, because NFTs are just something special and unique.
Exactly. And we avoid the plutocracy, just people who has a lot of money are able to have a lot of tokens and, they kind of have the power to drive the direction, of the projects. I was thinking something hybrid with using tokens, but like quadratic vote system that will take the square root from the amount of tokens people have, so we can lower the pressure from the guys who have a lot of money, and in a other place, people who don't have much money but contribute with the project can receive the NFTs to give them the opportunity to propose, to make proposal, or to vote, and to govern the protocol, the project.
This can be mixed. Actually, this goes in line with our idea how users would get privileges based on how many tokens on the one side they have, but also if they have ActiList official NFTs at the same time. And this will be balanced judgment, and to give the priority to the bidders, because in some circumstance, when it is say fixed price collection, and you need to randomly select people, this randomness can be augmented by privileged access, and privileged access is also important for other collection types. For our auction types. Yeah, but this would be balanced for ActiList in the end, like Bedrock's is mentioning.
Yep, we just added a new speaker. Go ahead.
Okay, I just want to ask the benefits of holding the NFTs instead of flipping the price. Guys around trading NFT, they love flipping price of NFT if the NFT don't have values of holding. Like, what's the benefit of holding the NFTs?
For ActiList, in case of the official NFTs for ActiList, it is going to be pure utility. We are not going to actively trade them. It will be just one-time sale, but we're actually looking more at NFTs as the containers of which can contain any valuables. Imagine real estate in metaverse represented by NFT, or a certificate represented as NFT, your ownership deed as you own a house in real world or metaverse. This would be, of course, more interesting use cases than just JPEG images in NFTs. But NFT is not at that evolution stage at the moment. We just want to develop a platform together with Stash and together with other teams. There will be multiple platforms which will be inviting users from other blockchains and making it possible to import NFTs from other blockchains. And by that, I mean more valuable NFTs. And the value of NFT that's unique to each NFT. Depending, one house can be more expensive than the other naturally. But in case of NFTs for ActiList project and tokens, they will have just a symbolic price or meaning. They will be used just for governance, so to say. They will not be used for trading them primarily.
Okay, thank you. Like which blockchain are you building your NFT on?
The NFTs we're going to mint on Secret Network naturally. It's going to be our first blockchain. And we are not interested to mint on other blockchains, but we are interested to import from other blockchains, possibly to integrate with other blockchains. So Secret Network is going to be a blockchain for NFTs that are going to be minted on with ActiList.
Okay, now I have to have secret token for me to be eligible to mint the NFT, or what do I need to mint the NFT, like to pay the gas fee of minting the NFTs?
Yep. Secret, that's correct. That's the native coin of the network. So like ETH is on Ethereum and like Sol is on Solana, you have Secret on Secret.
Thank you for answering my question. I really appreciate it.
Oh, of course. Thanks for asking. We have about 10 minutes left until the top of the hour, so we still have 10 minutes for people to come and ask their questions about either of the projects we're featuring today, about Secret more generally, about Secret NFTs. If you've got a really great idea to share for something that you really wish was being built with Secret NFTs, come up on stage. Floor is still open for a little bit longer. Or if anybody on stage currently has a question, even if you were presenting your own project, if you've got a question for anybody else on stage, you're already up here, you may as well ask. Still have some time.
I got a question. So for the CertUP team, is CertUP using some kind of special implementation of SNP 721? Do you have some kind of custom?
Yeah, so we have, it's divided between two separate contracts. There's the manager contract and the token contract. The manager contract is made so we can like update and store all the issuer information and transfer it over to newer updates of the contract. The NFT contract itself, we hope not to change at all. And it is very similar to the standard SNP 721 token data set, but there's a couple different fields of metadata that we added in there to be specifically tailored to the needs of people using CertUP. Does that answer your question?
It does, yeah. Sorry. Eating lunch while I'm doing this.
No problem.
Patrick,
That's something tasty, I hope.
We talked about this. You're not allowed to eat during the weeks. Get back to work. No, what's for lunch? I'm intrigued.
Taquitos.
Oh,
Ooh,
nice.
damn, now I'm hungry.
That should be our claim code next week.
I don't really hear what you say now. Like you mentioned claim code.
Oh, yes, claim codes. I guess one last time, since we've got about 8 minutes left. If you've never used a secret NFT, if you don't know what secret network is, there's some people I can tell in this space who are here for the first time. We have a pinned tweet here. Please look for the pinned tweet. You can click it, and there's a link to claim your very first secret badge. When you claim a secret badge is free to mint. You're not paying any gas. You just need to have a wallet set up, and the secret NFT will get minted directly to your wallet. Bam, you've got your very first secret NFT. And now you'll be able to view the private metadata because you are the owner. You'll be able to see what's inside of it. So if you want to do your very first secret NFT claim, you will need the claim code. There's a place to enter the claim code when you click through to that link. And today's claim code, not surprisingly, is secret NFT, all one word, secret NFT, all capital letters. So go and check that out. We have one more speaker we just brought up on stage. So go ahead. Is it Hokage? Hokage? What do I say? I don't want to botch this.
Yeah, it's Okage.
Hokage. Okay.
Yeah,
You know
I
what?
know.
Just ask your question before I mess it up.
I wanted to ask you about the badges. What does it like signify? Like, what's the use of the badges and the claim code? I don't know. I've been hearing about it. Like, I've been seeing it on my timeline and everything, but like, I haven't really really know what it's used for and all that. So I just wanted to know.
Well, no, it's a great question. It completely depends who issues it. So for secret spaces, we always do secret badges because it's just a fun way to reward people for having attended that week. That way in the future, they can always show it off. Or we might do some promotions in the future where if you've got the badge from a secret space in the past, and that team that was featured on that secret space decides to release something, or they want to reach out to community members who supported them in the past, well, you've claimed the badge for that secret space. That's a great way for them to know who was supporting them early, who was already listening to them when they came on a secret space. Or if we want to reward people who are coming to the secret spaces every week, we can send something to everybody who's holding the secret badge from that particular week, or somebody who's holding more than 7 badges. It's really up to everybody to figure out what they want badges to mean. It's just a marker of reputation to show that you were here, to show that you were supporting people in the secret ecosystem. But there's hundreds of use cases. A secret badge is really just an idea of one particular type of secret NFT. It's a very simple concept. It's like a POAP in Ethereum world where it's just free to mint. It's more reputational. It shows that you've done something, as opposed to an NFT that you pay thousands of dollars to have, and then it gives you access to a community, or you set it as a profile picture or something. This is not meant for that. You're not supposed to be buying badges. You're supposed to be earning badges. But again, that's a really general term. And you could say that what CertUP is doing is a kind of secret badge, but a very advanced kind of secret badge. And I think they're calling it something very different for a very good reason, because it is something a lot more meaningful than just attending a secret space. It is, completing an educational initiative. And now you can prove that you did something really impactful that can then become part of how you credential yourself anywhere in Web3 or outside of Web3, which is really exciting. So that's what a secret badge is. That's why we do them for secret spaces. But the use of a secret badge, the utility, is totally up to whoever's actually issuing it. We just think it makes a lot of sense for secret badges to exist because it's a great use for a private by default NFT to represent something that's more about reputation as opposed to something about how much money you paid for it.
Thank you very much. That was really helpful.
Awesome. Well, if you're interested in creating your own badge, you certainly can. If you're interested in claiming, we just released today's claim code. But if you're interested in diving deeper on these kinds of utilities for secret NFTs, I mean, we just featured 2 amazing projects here on stage today. We had ActiList, we had CertUP, talking about the potential of secret NFTs beyond just, a freedom mint. That's just kind of a doorway into a much, much bigger universe for secret NFTs. So super happy to have a big crowd here today learning more about secret NFTs in general and about these projects specifically. Since we only have a couple minutes to go, for the people we featured on stage today from these 2 projects, any last words from the ActiList team? Any last words from the CertUP team before we drop? And of course, follow both accounts. Follow both accounts right now.
I would say thank you for your attendance today. I'll make sure you hear more about our project. And in 2 months, we'll be releasing, more or less 2 months, our first production version. And looking forward to NFT development in general. And we are here to prepare more infrastructure and more projects on Secret Network blockchain, because this is a unique blockchain, and to invite more users and more NFTs, meaningful NFTs. And hope to stay with you on the Secret Network community and other people to see more progress on that. And you can, of course, subscribe to our Twitter account to get more news, to be updated sooner than the rest.
Oh, my last word is this: like, the secret chain has like educational plays that they teach newbies about their blockchain.
Oh, this is a great place to end. Yes, if you're completely new to Secret, we do have a dedicated program for teaching people from scratch all about Secret, and we highly recommend you check it out. It's called the Secret Agents Program. And the idea of Secret Agents is we just want to teach users all over the world how to use privacy technologies in Web3, and also teach them how to teach other people about privacy technologies and all the cool things you can build on top of them. If anybody listening is interested in becoming a secret agent and joining that program and earning secret badges and earning secret and ranking up and making an impact in their local communities, there's been thousands of secret agents all around the world. You can go visit our website for the network. It's at scrt.network. And then if you go to scrt.network/agents, that'll take you to the first step in the process of becoming a secret agent, learning more about secret agents. And if you just want to talk to a bunch of secret agents and a lot of people in the secret ecosystem, please join the secret Discord, chat.scrt.network. That's the link to the Discord. You can jump in there. Again, thousands of people waiting to help onboard you onto the network, teach you how to use the applications, help you build your own, whatever you want to do. There's a million opportunities right now in the secret ecosystem, and we would love to help you guys get started.
Best blockchain community in the world, in my opinion.
Yep, we have a lot of very unbiased people here today to tell you exactly how great Secret Network is.
Yeah. From our end, thanks for coming, guys. And CertUP is going to be launching within the next few weeks. So, news and stuff is going to be coming out very fast. Make sure to stay updated on our Twitter and our Discord. And we're going to be Secret's going to be taking the world by storm.
Amazing. Well, thank you everybody for coming today to Secret Spaces. We are here at the top of the hour, which means we're wrapping up. This was all recorded. We'll get this up on the Secret YouTube as well so that you can listen in the future. But thank you again to our teams. Thank you again to our community members who asked their questions. We really appreciated your contributions. Please come into the Secret Discord, keep the conversation going, come meet more of the builders in our ecosystem, and please come back next Tuesday. We do this every week. Next week is no exception. So on August 23rd, we will be right back here at 4 p.m. UTC, featuring different amazing guests from around the secret universe and around Web3. So again, thank you to our guests. Thank you to the audience. We really appreciate it. Thank you for your support of the ecosystem, and we will see you next time on Secret Spaces. Bye, everybody.